Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Om Sthavakaya Cha Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Sthavakaya Cha Dharmasya Sarvadharmaswarupine Avataravadishthaya Ramakrishna Te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityoramamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Today's topic I have chosen from the Gospel, Guru Disciple. It is very important to know the significance of the Guru, and it's equally important how the disciple should be worthy. So this Guru-disciple relationship is very important in spiritual life. There can be many gurus with respect to secular knowledge, but with respect to spiritual knowledge, one should hold on to one guru. That is the well-established tradition. Of course, Sri Ramakrishna had many spiritual gurus, but Sri Ramakrishna's case is entirely different. Whatever the instructions he received from the Guru, he would fulfill, and after realizing the ideal, he would go to next stage in spiritual life. In fact, all the gurus were being sent by Divine Mother Kali herself, because Sri Ramakrishna was to be spiritual master for the whole world. So, most important factor in spiritual life is that one should have faith in the Guru's words. The Guru is none other than Chidananda. All the sacred scriptures of Hindu tradition declare that Guru is none other than the Supreme Paramatman. God Himself is the Guru. If you only believe His words like a child, you will realize God. What faith a child has. When a child's mother says to him about a certain man, "He is your brother," the child believes he really is his brother. The child believes it 125%, though he may be the son of a Brahmin and the man the son of a blacksmith. The mother says to the child, there is a bugaboo in that room. And the child really believes there is a bugaboo in the room. These are the words of Sri Ramakrishna in the Gospel you find. Such is the faith of a child. One must have this childlike faith in the Guru's words. God cannot be realized by a mind that is hypocritical, calculating, or argumentative. One must have faith and sincerity. Hypocrisy will not do. To the sincere, God is very near, but He is far, far away from the hypocrite. One must have for God the yearning of a child. The child sees nothing but confusion when his mother is away. You may try to cajole him by putting a sweetmeat in his hand, but he will not be fooled. He only says, "No, I want to go to my mother." One must feel such yearning for God. What yearning! How restless a child feels for his mother. Nothing can make him forget his mother. He to whom the enjoyment of worldly happiness appears tasteless, he who takes no delight in anything of the world, money, name, creature comforts, sense pleasure, becomes sincerely grief-stricken for the vision of the mother. And to him alone the mother comes running, leaving all her other duties. Oh, that restlessness is the whole thing. Whatever path you follow, whether you are a Hindu, whether you are a Muslim, whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Shakta, a Vaishnava, or a Brahmo, the vital point is restlessness. God is our inner guide. It doesn't matter if you take a wrong path. Only you must be restless for Him. He Himself will put you on the right path. Besides, there are errors in all paths. Everyone thinks his watch is right, but as a matter of fact, no watch is absolutely right. But that doesn't hamper one's work. If a man is restless for God, he gains the company of sadhus, and as far as possible corrects his own watch with the sadhus' help. All these statements are done by Sri Ramakrishna. You find them in the Gospel. Guru-disciple is an important tradition governing the Hindu systems of life and investing them with immense significance. The Guru or a teacher, whether in secular or spiritual context, is a person often venerated because the Guru imparts meaning and value to existence. The disciple, on the other hand, needs to be that fitting receptacle into which the Guru is able to pour his or her own realizations and insights. Together they make an entirety that gives stability and sustenance to society. In short, this tradition of the close association of the Guru and the disciple is considered to be one of the deepest, the most satisfying, and the most complex of human relationships. Not every person, of course, can be either a perfect Guru or a worthy disciple. Both the Guru and the disciple are in search of the ideal human being who can complement them. The tradition is illustrated by some great Guru-disciple relationships, such as that of Sri Krishna Arjun in the past and Sri Ramakrishna Vivekananda in the more recent times. It is very important for a person to be able to spot the real thing in this world of illusory appearances. An aspirant is constantly on the lookout for a Guru who will be able to guide him or her properly while a guru has an urgent need to find a disciple who can assimilate all that is imparted to him or her. It is believed that no progress can be made in life without a guru, and a guru who is committed to the task at hand yearns for the right kind of disciple to teach or train. In this context, one is reminded of the intense and passionate cry of Sri Ramakrishna for a worthy disciple. When scores of materialistic intellectuals thronged Dakshineshwar after the period of Sri Ramakrishna's sadhana, he almost gave up hope of finding a disciple after his own heart. He was eager to distribute the treasures of inwardness that he had gleaned from his spiritual practices, but he could not find the right disciple to do so for a very long time. Finally, the direct disciples of the Master came to him one by one, and in molding them, he found the true meaning of his advent. Thus, it is a matter of immense good fortune to discover the right guru, disciple, and great spiritual preceptors have obviously kept this in mind while giving expression to their brand of wisdom. Sri Ramakrishna's teachings on this subject often take the form of tales that point to various aspects of this guru-disciple tradition. A close look at some of these tales is rewarding. In one of the tales, Sri Ramakrishna speaks about the test of a guru poses to his disciple to find out the extent of his sincerity. The primary requirement in any enterprise is sincerity to the chosen goal. The first thing a guru tries to discover is therefore genuineness of the disciple's commitment. The teacher in this story is asked by the disciple, "Sir, please tell me how I can see God." The guru knows that showing has more immediacy than telling, and therefore he says, "Come with me and I shall show you." The guru took the disciple to a lake, and both of them got into the water. Suddenly, the teacher pressed the disciple's head under the water. After a few moments, he released him, and the disciple raised his head and stood up. The guru asked him, "Well, how did you feel?" The disciple said, "Oh, I thought I should die. I was panting for breath." Then the teacher said, "Well, when you feel like that for God, then you will know you have not long to wait for his vision." Sri Ramakrishna has said this in the Gospel. The all-consuming earnestness that is demanded by the teacher in this incident is quite rare, even in the best of disciples. We may often convince ourselves and others that our commitment to spirituality is genuine, but we don't bring to it the single-minded devotion that we are supposed to. When the disciple's head is pressed under water, the only thought in his mind is how to draw in some air. There is no other thought distracting his mind from this primary purpose. Most people who embark on a spiritual quest do so amid the many concerns of life and never consider it as the one point on which all their efforts should converge. As a popular song tells us, we find time for everything else, but not to call you, O Mother. The Guru's demonstration in the above story gives the disciple the feel of the lesson. But there are instances where the disciple is so entangled in Maya that he is unable to follow the Guru, even though he knows that he should do so. Sri Ramakrishna illustrates this in another story, where the disciple is awakened to the kind of attachment characteristic of the world. During one of Narendra's early visits, Sri Ramakrishna said, I touched his chest, and immediately Narendranath became unconscious. Regaining consciousness, Narendranath wept and said, "Oh, why did you do that to me? I have a father. I have a mother. This I and mine spring from ignorance." A guru said to his disciple, "The world is illusory. Come away with me." "But Reverend Sir," said the disciple, "my people at home, my father, my mother, my wife, they love me so much. How can I give them up?" The Guru said, "No doubt you now have this feeling of I and mine and say that they love you, but this is all an illusion of your mind. Now I shall teach you a trick, and you will know whether they love you truly or not." Saying this, the teacher gave the disciple a pill and said to him, "Swallow this at home. You will appear to be a corpse, but you will not lose consciousness. You will see everything and hear everything. Then I shall come to your house, and gradually you will regain your normal state." The disciple followed the teacher's instructions and lay on his bed like a dead person. The house was filled with loud wailing. His mother, his wife, and the others lay on the ground weeping bitterly. Just then a Brahmin entered the house and said to them, "What's the matter with you?" "The boy is dead," they replied. The Brahmin felt his pulse and said, "How is that?" "No, he is not dead. I have a medicine for him that will cure him completely." The joy of the relatives was unbounded. It seemed to them that heaven itself had come down into their house. "But," said the Brahmin, "I must tell you something else. Another person must take some of this medicine first, and then the boy must swallow the rest. But the other person will die. I see he has so many dear relatives here. One of them will certainly agree to take the medicine. I see his wife and mother crying bitterly. Surely they will not hesitate to take it." At once the weeping stopped and all sat quiet. The mother said, "Well, this is a big family. Suppose I die, then who will look after the family?" She fell into a reflective mood. The wife, who had been crying a minute before and bemoaning her ill luck, said, "Well, my husband has gone the way of mortals. I have these 2 or 3 young children. Who will look after them if I die?" The disciple saw everything and heard everything. He stood up at once and said to the teacher, "Sir, let us go. I will follow you." A disciple said to his guru, another story, very interesting, how it has got great spiritual significance. A disciple said to his guru that his wife loved him very much, and so he could not renounce the world. To convince him of the hollowness of this plea, the guru taught him some occult powers of Hatha Yoga, whereby he could appear dead. One day, great wailing and sobbing was heard all around. The neighbors saw the disciple in a peculiar convoluted posture. They all thought that his life was extinct. The wife of the disciple was crying. In the meantime, the relatives brought a cart to take the corpse out for cremation. But then they found themselves face to face with a very serious difficulty, because his body already had become stiff-like, and his stretched arms and legs would not come out through the door. One of the neighbors then brought an axe and began to cut the wooden frame of the door. No, 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 cried out the wife. What are you doing? Whatever was to happen has happened to my husband. You had better cut his hands and legs and take him out. All laugh. Hearing this, the Hatha Yogi at once stood up and shouted, Woman, you want to cut my hands and legs off? So saying, he went away with his Guru, renouncing hearth and home. In this story, the Guru may thus have to be cruel in order to be kind in the long run. In the Guru Mantra, we are told that the Guru removes ignorance and opens the eyes of the disciple to that which is the only reality of existence. But in this process, much has to be sacrificed, as is seen in the story of the Hatha Yogi. There are times when the teachings of the Guru are clear enough, but get misinterpreted by disciples to suit their own desires. This is described in the story, another story, this also said by Sri Ramakrishna, where the king who learns the whole universe is Brahman decides that the queen and her maid are the same Brahman, and he would henceforth consider the maid as his queen. Of course, in such a dire case, the Guru is forced to take drastic steps. He insists that the king eat dung instead of the delicious dishes placed before him, since it's all Brahman. Eat the cow dung. When the king in his pride challenges his teacher and asks him to show him how the Guru changes, he asks the Guru to show himself whether he could do that. The Guru changes himself into a swine and eats the dung. The king is ashamed of his mad proposal and learns his lesson the hard way. Thus a true disciple learns discrimination, and since the king in this story could not practice this elementary lesson, he was not worthy of his Guru. In other words, a Guru should be able to choose those disciples who would do him credit, and however ignorant people are to begin with. An inspired Guru can work a miracle of transformation in them. A disciple thus carefully trained will never twist the Guru's words to satisfy his or her own hankerings. There is another story told by Sri Ramakrishna, reflecting a misunderstanding regarding teachings of the Guru. It is a story of a venomous snake which caused terror in a neighborhood. A holy man passing through gave the snake a mantra, and the snake became totally subdued. Soon it forgot its violent nature and became the target of the cruel boys in the village who pelted him with stones. Finally, when the Guru came to that place again, he found the snake almost at death's door due to its practice of sattva. The Guru was shocked. This was not the result he had desired when he had given the snake the mantra. He told his disciple, "What a shame! You are such a fool. You don't know how to protect yourself. I asked you not to bite, but I didn't forbid you to hiss. Why didn't you scare them away by hissing?" So the Guru's mantra might have an adverse effect if misinterpreted. The lessons should not only cater to spiritual matters, but need to be pragmatic as well. Sri Ramakrishna himself, as we know today, would train each disciple differently according to each individual's temperament and need. To one, Sri Ramakrishna would teach moderation because he was up in arms at the slightest provocation, while to another, Sri Ramakrishna would teach to be more aggressive because he was very timid by nature. Thus, the Guru too has to show great discrimination while he is imparting spiritual wisdom to see that it bears the right kind of fruit. Often it so happens that a disciple may be a step ahead of the Guru, and if the latter wants, he can learn much from his own disciple. Again, there is a story to underline this fact told by Sri Ramakrishna. A disciple learns he can walk across a river by reciting the name of his guru. It is his firm faith that takes him across. The guru is amazed at the power of his own name and tries the same exercise, but he utters the word I, signifying ignorance, and is drowned in the waters. Here, the guru's ego is contrasted with the disciple's faith and humility. In this story, Sri Ramakrishna hints at the possibility of a miracle through total commitment to the guru. It is not for the disciple to judge the qualities of greatness in the guru. Whether good or bad, a guru should be venerated without a doubt. Faith is a seed that we endeavor to sow in order to reap the harvest of redemption and bliss. As the Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi believed, a true disciple does credit to the guru and elevates him further. Since she herself was a guru par excellence, this reiteration of her is a beacon of exemplification to all disciples. Also, Sri Ramakrishna is today better known to the majority of people as the guru of Swamiji rather than the saint of Dakshineshwar. This seems to be conclusive proof that the complementary relationship of guru and disciple is not necessarily a purely hierarchical one. It is not purely hierarchical one, but one in which the two work together for the benefit of each other and of humanity at large. The guru-disciple tradition is therefore crucial, especially along the precipitous spiritual path. The guru who finds the sincere and willing disciple and the disciple who comes to the perfect guru are both indeed fortunate. We find the ideal example, the great master Sri Ramakrishna, the great disciple Swami Chidananda. So, the relationship between guru and disciple is most important in our spiritual life. Page 812. As long as I consciousness exists, Sri Ramakrishna said, one should have the attitude of a bhakta. One should not say, I am God. A man aware of his body should feel that he is not Krishna himself, but his devotee. But if God draws the devotee to himself, then it is different. It is like the master saying to his beloved servant, come, take your seat near me. You are the same as I. The waves are part of the Ganges, but the Ganges is not part of the waves. Shiva experiences two states of mind. When he is completely absorbed in his own self, he feels, I am he. In that union, neither body nor mind functions. But when he is conscious of his separate ego, he dances, exclaiming, Rama, Rama. That which is unmoving also moves. Just now you are still, but a few moments later, the same, you will be engaged in action. Jnana and Bhakti are one and the same thing. The difference is like this. One man says water and another a block of ice. A block of ice. Generally speaking, there are two kinds of samadhi. First, sthira or jada samadhi. One attains it by following the path of knowledge as a result of the destruction of the ego through reasoning. Second, bhava samadhi. One attains this by following the path of bhakti. In this second samadhi, a trace of ego remains like a line in order to enable the devotee to enjoy God, to taste his leela. But one cannot understand all this if one is attached to lust and gold. I said to Kedar, you will never succeed if your mind dwells on lust and gold. I wanted to pass my hand over his chest, but I could not. He has knots and twists inside. It was like a room smelling of filth. which I could not enter. His attachment to the world is very deep. It is like a natural emblem of Shiva, whose root spreads as far as Benares. One will never succeed if one is attached to the world, to lust and gold. The youngsters are yet untouched by lust and gold. That's why I love them so dearly. Hazrat says to me, you love a boy if he comes from a wealthy family or if he is a handsome. If that is so, then why do I love Harish, Latu and Narendra? Narendra has not a penny to buy salt to season his rice. The youngsters' minds are not yet colored by worldliness. That's why they are so pure in heart. Besides, many of them are eternally perfect. They have been drawn to God from their very birth. It is like a garden in which, while cleaning it, you suddenly discover water pipes. The water gushes forth without any effort on your part. Balram said, Sir, how is it possible for Purna to know all of a sudden that the world is illusory? Master said, he has inherited that knowledge from his previous births. In his past lives, he practiced many disciplines. It is the body alone that is small or grows big, and not the Atman. We shall stop here. Any questions? Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drown deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord. In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy. How huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass. Be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue. The playthings of lust are the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. How I long for a day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, and my heart burns away with his desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy. May all be free from disease. May all realize what is good. May none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bonds. May the freed make others free. May good betide all people. May the sovereign righteously rule the earth. May all beings ever attain what is good. May the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time. May the earth be blessed with crops. May all countries be freed from calamity. May holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.